Thinking about buying a new TV in 2026? Stop right there because some of the biggest bargains on the market could end up costing you far more than you expect. Today, we're revealing 5 TV brands that have raised serious concerns among real buyers, from early failures and sluggish performance to frustrating long-term ownership issues. Stay with us until the end, because the Hasson brand on this list might completely change the way you shop for your next TV. If this video helps you avoid an expensive mistake, make sure to like and subscribe for more honest TV reviews and rankings. And tell us in the comments which TV brand would you never buy again, and why. The core problem. Have you ever noticed how some TVs look amazing in the store, but become a complete headache a year later? That's the problem nobody talks about. Most buyers spend hours comparing screen sizes, resolutions, and prices, but almost nobody talks about reliability. And that's where many people make expensive mistakes. The modern TV market is filled with confusing brand names, flashy marketing, and prices that seem too good to be true. Some brands are using names that people trust from decades ago, even though the companies behind those names are completely different today. Then there's the hardware problem. To hit extremely low prices, some manufacturers cut costs on internal components that buyers never see. Cheaper power supplies, lower quality circuit boards, and backlight systems that can fail long before the TV should be reaching the end of its life. And if the hardware survives, the software can become the next frustration. Slow menus, freezing apps, laggy navigation, constant advertisements, and software updates that sometimes create more problems than they solve. Since modern TVs are basically computers, weak hardware often creates a frustrating experience long before the screen itself fails. But here's the part that frustrates people the most: customer support. When something goes wrong, many buyers discover that getting help isn't nearly as easy as buying the TV was. Long hold times, confusing warranty policies, and repair costs that exceed the value of the television itself often leave people with no choice but to replace the entire unit. That's why today's list isn't about the worst picture quality. It's about the brands that have generated enough concerns around reliability, consistency, support, and long-term ownership that buyers should think twice before spending their money. And trust me, the first brand on our list is one that surprises a lot of people. All right, we're halfway through. If you're finding this information helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you have your own horror story with a TV brand, drop it in the comments. Reading those real-world stories helps everyone in the community make smarter choices. Now, let's get back to it. Number 5. Westinghouse. Have you ever bought a product simply because you recognize the name? That's exactly why Westinghouse lands on this list. For many people, the Westinghouse brand still carries decades of trust and familiarity. The problem is that the televisions being sold under that name today have very little connection to the company that originally built that reputation. And that's where buyers can get caught off guard. One of the most common concerns surrounding Westinghouse TVs is inconsistency. Different models can come from different manufacturers, making overall quality difficult to predict. Some users report acceptable experiences, while others describe early failures involving power boards, backlights, and general hardware reliability. Picture quality is also often a compromise. Lower brightness, weaker contrast, and limited HDR performance can make movies and sports look less impressive than buyers expect. And if something goes wrong, customer support is frequently mentioned as a frustrating experience. If you're looking for a dependable main TV for your living room, Westinghouse may simply involve more risk than most buyers are comfortable with. But believe it or not, the next brand takes budget TV manufacturing even further. Number 4. Element. What if a TV is so cheap that repairing it makes less sense than replacing it? That's the concern many buyers have with Element. Element has built its reputation around ultra-low prices. At first glance, that's appealing. Everyone loves saving money, but when a TV becomes disposable after a short period of time, that low price starts looking very different. Many owner complaints focus on common issues like black screens, startup failures, freezing software, and televisions that stop responding unexpectedly. While every brand can experience failures, Element appears in these discussions far more often than buyers would like. Performance can also be a challenge. Brightness is often limited, viewing angles can be poor, and smart TV systems frequently feel slow due to underpowered hardware. The result is a viewing experience that can become frustrating long before the television actually stops working. For buyers who want a TV they can enjoy for years, Element may not be the safest investment. And the next brand on our list is one that many people still mistakenly trust because of its famous name. All right, we're halfway through. If you're finding this information helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you have your own horror story with a TV brand, drop it in the comments. Reading those real-world stories helps everyone in the community make smarter choices. Now, let's get back to it. Number 3, RCA. Would you trust a TV simply because it's carrying one of the most famous names in electronics history? That's exactly why RCA deserves a closer look. The RCA brand helped shape the television industry decades ago. Unfortunately, today's RCA televisions are often relying on that legacy rather than earning trust through modern performance. One of the biggest issues buyers report is inconsistency. Because the brand is licensed to different manufacturers, the experience can vary dramatically from one model to another. Many users report TVs that work perfectly during the warranty period only to develop serious issues shortly afterward. Problems involving power systems, HDMI ports, audio performance, and general reliability appear frequently in owner feedback. Even when functioning properly, many RCA models struggle to compete in terms of brightness, processing, and overall picture quality. For buyers who value reliability and peace of mind, RCA can be a difficult recommendation. But if you think that's disappointing, wait until you hear about the brand that many shoppers buy simply because they see it sitting inside a major electronics retailer. Number 2, Insignia. Does buying a TV from a trusted store automatically make it a smart purchase? Not necessarily. That's why Insignia takes the number 2 spot. As Best Buy's in-house brand, Insignia benefits from strong visibility and attractive pricing. For many buyers, that combination creates confidence before they even start comparing alternatives. The problem is that budget pricing always requires compromises. Many Insignia models struggle with brightness, contrast, black level performance, and overall picture quality compared to similarly priced competitors. While they often include modern features on paper, the real-world viewing experience can feel less impressive than expected. Reliability concerns also appear regularly in owner discussions. Issues involving Wi-Fi connectivity, audio performance, HDMI ports, and premature hardware failures are not uncommon. For a guest room or secondary TV, Insignia may be perfectly acceptable. But for a primary living room television that you'll depend on every day, many buyers eventually wish they had spent a little more. And now, we arrive at the most controversial brand on today's list. All right, we're halfway through. If you're finding this information helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you have your own horror story with a TV brand, drop it in the comments. Reading those real-world stories helps everyone in the community make smarter choices. Now, let's get back to it. Number 1, Hisense. Before you start typing in the comments, hear me out. Hisense is very different from the other brands on this list because they actually make some genuinely outstanding TVs. In fact, several of their premium models deliver incredible value and compete directly with much more expensive competitors. So why are they here? Because for many buyers, purchasing a Hisense can feel like a quality control lottery. One of the most common topics discussed online is panel consistency. 2 buyers can purchase the exact same model and have noticeably different experiences. One receives an excellent unit. The other notices backlight issues, uniformity problems, or screen defects immediately. Software is another area that generates mixed feedback. Some owners enjoy a smooth experience, while others report firmware updates introducing unexpected bugs, gaming issues, or performance problems that didn't previously exist. And while Hisense continues improving every year, long-term reliability remains a concern for some buyers, especially within lower-end models where cost-cutting becomes more aggressive. That's what makes Hisense so controversial. If you get a great unit, you can receive incredible performance for the money. But if consistency and long-term confidence are your top priorities, you may find yourself worrying more than you want to. So, who should be cautious? The buyer who wants absolute peace of mind. Because while Hisense can deliver tremendous value, it may also require more careful inspection, testing, and willingness to exchange a unit if necessary. And that's exactly why it earns the number 1 spot on today's list. The final conclusion. So, we've just walked through 5 brands that, for different reasons, could be a risk to your wallet and your sanity. From licensed zombie brands to the high-stakes quality control lottery, the lesson is clear. The cheapest TV is rarely the best value. But this video isn't about scaring you away from buying a TV. It's about helping you buy the right one. So, if not these brands, then what? For budget-conscious buyers, the conversation often starts with TCL. In recent years, TCL has built a strong reputation for delivering reliable performance at a great price, especially with their QM series. They have a degree of vertical integration, which can lead to better consistency. Still, just like any brand, it's smart to check reviews for the specific model you're considering. As you move up in price, the big names offer a safer bet. Samsung and LG have huge lineups that generally offer a step up in build quality and software stability, while they also have entry-level models that cut corners. Their mid-tier sets are often seen as the sweet spot for performance and price. And for those who want premium performance, the top-tier brands are still the top choice. Sony has a stellar reputation for its picture processing, color accuracy, and overall reliability, making it one of the most trusted names in the business. And LG continues to be a leader in the high-end space with its OLED technology, which offers unmatched picture quality. You'll pay more for these brands, but you're investing in a product with a proven track record. The ultimate takeaway is this: do your homework. Don't be fooled by a low price or a familiar name from 30 years ago. Read reviews from people who have owned the TV for 6 months or a year. The best TV for you is one that you'll enjoy for years to come, not one that becomes a headache the day after the warranty expires. Thanks for watching. If this guide helped you, subscribe for more honest tech advice. Stay smart and happy watching.